Got Rock the Dragon on. Let's go. Sorry guys for the absence of videos again and again and again. I wasn't really in a positive mood. I've been really tired as of the last couple days. And I just got done writing the chapter 9 for Dragon Ball X. But I've been really sleepy the past couple days. I've been sleeping 4 or 5 hours after I get back from school. Yeah, I don't get home from school. It's like 4:20, 4:30, so it's like trying to do as much as I can. And got a basketball game. Probably have to go there right after making this video. So I gotta make this video and publish it, and then I have to get out. So yeah. All right, let's go. Let's get into this. Last at the end of chapter 8, we got to the point where Android 19 and Tora started fighting, and the last sentence was 19 had fallen and slid across the ground as Tora saw nothing but victory and coming his way. Yeah. Tora walked closer as he kicked 19 over and looked him dead in the eyes. Tora was about to obliterate 19 until Android 19 eye-beamed Tora in the face, causing a lapse of concentration for Tora. Tora wiped his face with his hands as he turned around. 19 was nowhere in sight. Because the last time, chapter 8, I kind of went way past where I was trying to eventually end it. But yeah, that's where I ended last time. Let's go ahead and get into this. Chapter 9. A moment passed as 19 from suddenly nowhere kicked Tora from behind. Tora was sent straight through a boulder and onto the ground. Tora got back up as again 19 was nowhere to be found. Hold up. Where was I at? Yeah, Tora looked around some more until 19 came with a sucker punch from the side. It didn't send Tora flying, but it definitely stunned Tora. Tora then found out what the android was doing. Android 19 is sneaking around Tora, wearing him out so he can take him out. Tora then heavily concentrated as he mentally was trying to find out 19's location. Tora then spotted 19 as 19 was about to hit him with another side punch from the opposite position. So 19 came and hit Tora from the right, so he's trying to hit him from the left. Tora went saw him coming and just dodged it. Sorry, I'm eating gum, so if my voice is a little weird, I'm sorry. Alright. Tora then dunked down as he hits 19 with a ferocious uppercut, sending him flying upward. Like I said, 19 was coming from this side, so he dunked down, came up and just straight up uppercutted him like that. Tora regained the upper hand as he came up with his own plan. His plan was to get rid of 19's hands, as in he was trying to what Vegeta did with 19 when he was absorbing his blast and Vegeta. I'm sorry, I just noticed on the outside. And Vegeta tore off both his arms. That's what Tora was saying. Okay, he can absorb my blast, but he can't if I take off his hands. So he could blast him away without 19 absorbing the blast. Tora skyrocketed up so he can get an even playing field with Android 19. Without a moment to spare, 19 charged at Tora with no hesitation. Tora dodged 19's punches as he grabbed one arm and then another. As he crept from behind, Tora hopped his legs up into 19's back as he pulled. 19 screamed in horror as Tora didn't show no sign of remorse. Then in an instant, Tora broke both his arms, leaving Android 19 crippled. 19 turned around as Tora stared him down his soul as he backhands the android onto the ground with his almighty force. Not the Naruto move. For those who are Naruto fans, y'all know what I mean. Tora then realized this is the moment of victory, as he wasted no time charging up his new attack, known as the Tiger Berserker. Tora held both arms back with an electric orange-like key ball in both hands. So, like, let me put this down for a second. He held both arms back like this, with two orange, like, electric key balls in both his hands, like this, holding it back, about to strike. Tora then screamed Tiger Berserker as he threw multiple key blasts at Android 19. As 19 ran, paralyzed in both arms, trying to escape the field of blasts heading his way. Then the barrage ended as Tora charged one big ball of ki in his right hand as he threw it right at 19, causing a huge explosion. So, like, he got the ki blast, the last one here, like, charged up, went all the way back, and just threw it at him. Like that. Alright, Tora hovered down to make sure Android 19 was defeated. There, as he looked down, was the head of 19 as Tora grinned in glee of his great victory. So at this point, Android 19 is defeated. He's done. Tora sighed as he began to look for Dr. Gero, as he remembered that Dr. Gero took off moments before the battle even started. Nail, on the other hand, was secretly following Dr. Gero back to Gero's laboratory. Around halfway there, both Nail and Gero noticed a huge explosion from the battle with Tora and Android 19. So when Tora did Tiger Berserker, that's when they noticed that. With that, Gero looked closely, like he saw the blast, and then he looked a little bit down because he looked behind him, because the blast was behind him and Nail. So when he looked behind him, the explosion ended. He looked slightly down. With that, with that, Gero looked closely as he noticed Nail just a good bit behind him as he sends a short eye beam in Nail's direction. Nail figured that Gero spotted him as he hovers up quickly. There's Nail and Gero faced off once more. This time, Nail won't be caught off guard again. So, like in the last chapter, if y'all remember last chapter, Nail got caught by one of Gero's little things. You know, yeah. Like, you know what Gero did to Yamcha? He did that to Nail in the last chapter, if y'all remember that. Or if y'all are just watching chapter 9 now and you skip chapter 8. Alright. This time, yeah. Nail posed himself as he studied Gero to find a weakness. Nail then suddenly charged at Gero with no hesitation. Gero, as sudden as Nail got to him, disappeared. Then Nail spotted him and then attacked. Just as before, he missed. Then Nail backed up and heavily concentrated. A moment passed as Nail fired a terrific blast at Gero. Gero didn't expect it and was hit by the blast. Gero was sent flying along with the blast far away. Nail used his time to charge up the remaining part of his ki to get ready for round 2 with Gero. Nail also had a plan. His plan was to stall Gero until Tora arrived, because he can sense Tora's power heading his way. Tora and Nail would defeat Gero, and this would be all over with. Gero later arrived, and Nail and him started to square off again. Tora from afar could notice a high increasing power. Tora later thought it could be only one person, as it was Nail. Sorry for the background noise. Gero later arrived, and Nail and him started to square off again. Tora from afar could notice a high increasing power. Tora later thought it could be Nail, so he rushed over. At the battle, Nail powered to the extreme, something he learned to do while training with Tora. So what I mean with power to the extreme, like he had all the power that he could possibly get out of his own body and charged up to you know, way up, like as far as he could possibly go, like having his potential unleashed is with as much power as he can. Only one defect to this part, or defect, or one con to this is that he is legit left almost paralyzed for a good bit of time afterwards. So if you think about like Superman's like really, I forgot what the move's called, but where he uses all this power at once, and he's left as like a normal human afterwards. If y'all know anything about Superman, where I'm wrong, I don't know. Just something I heard a while back. It's like that. All right. Nail's power increased to up to 8.5 million. This uses all of Nail's strength, but it was worth it as long as it gives Tor the time to head over. Nail threw multiple punches and kicks, but just like before, did nothing. Nail was extremely irritated, but calmed down and relaxed. He remembered something else Tor had taught him. Something that Tor learned from King Kai, the after image technique. Nail threw one punch at Gero, and Gero dodges, but at the same time, Nail vanished. After that, Nail threw another punch as Gero again dodges. Just like before, Nail vanishes into thin air. Then, Nail threw a series of punches at Gero, vanishing after each. With his high speed and strength, Nail eventually got Gero with a combo, sending him right in the air. Gero was shocked at Nail's new speed and agility and started to watch out for him. Nail was suddenly right below Gero and then again vanished, expecting him to come from above. So like think about like this: Gero's in the air, and Nail is like below him. He comes up from below, but then he vanishes, expecting him to be like from above. He looks behind him like that, looking up. And where was I at again? Expecting him to come up from. Hold up. Expecting him to come up from above. Gero looked up, but to his surprise, Nail struck him from the side. So again, like what 19 did to Tora, hitting him from the side. This heavily rattled Gero as Nail sent a haymaker-like knee to the abdomen to Gero, and then a sledgehammer to the back of Gero. So like he kneed him in the stomach. Gero bent over a little bit from it, and just Nail just went straight up and just bow on him. Elsewhere, Tora was making his way to the next battle scene. The area below was a rocky mountain-like plain in which it would make it easily a way of hiding in Gero's situation. So, you know, if y'all can remember when Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien were all looking for Gero, that's what it was like. It would be moments later until Tora arrived and Nail severely out of power. Nail looks at Tora and, unable to continue, lies onto the ground. Dr. Gero got back up after the attack in which he received from Nail. Tora took a good look at Gero and hovered down. Sorry, my phone went off. Hold on, let me go check this real quick. No, never mind, I'll do it in a second. Tora, in a blink of an eye, snapped back into his Super Saiyan form. Gero, beaten and scared, told Tora that it's been fun, but I have to go. Bye. Just then, Gero threw a powerful yet blinding ki attack that broke down the ground below. Right after the blast, Tora got back up after being covered with rocks and looked for Gero. He was gone. Nail, on the other hand, was beaten and barely alive after using all the strength he had recently just used. Tora took Nail over his shoulders and left. Alright, we're almost done with this. Tora then head over to the original spot before the battle began. So, in Chapter 8, when they were waiting for Gero in Android 19 and South City, that's where he headed back over to. Tora had a few questions that he had to ask Bulma. Once there, Tora laid Nail on the ground, and as he walked towards Bulma, who was actually about to leave. So Bulma was about to leave, but then Tora got there when Nail and whatnot. Tora went up to Bulma and asked, "Do you know of Dr. Gero, and if so, do you know where he could be located?" He asked this question because Gero seemed to be a scientist of some sort. Knowing Bulma, who was also a scientist, could help find Gero. Bulma responded with, "Oh, he is or was a brilliant scientist who has amazing pieces of work and is known by other scientists as one of the greatest scientists alive." My phone keeps on going off like crazy. I have to check that. He has a laboratory near the mountains. Bulma then took out a map capsule, like all the, she has a whole bunch of capsules. I just made up like, you know what, she might have a map capsule, and handed it over to Tora. Tora then asked Yajirobe if he Yajirobe if he had any senzu beans left. Yajirobe had one left, as he gave Tora the last one he had. Tora then fed it to Nail as Nail awoke. Tora put the map in his hand and then put it into his pocket as he and Nail took off. That will end it for chapter 9, guys. Chapter 10 should be coming out on Wednesday, if I can possibly pull it off. I'll see y'all guys later. This is Ultra Tiger over 25. Have a wonderful day, guys. Please share, subscribe, like, and comment. See y'all later. Peace, man.